Everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you just start hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Guess I was muted. Well, again, welcome. I just want to thank everybody for giving up yet another portion of the evening. But most importantly, giving up to the time, talent, and experience that helping us grow our ranks in pub studying so that we can get the world. And all you got to do is watch the news and remember, we really need to do this. You just drop down to the second slide if you can. I want to introduce a good friend and colleague, Chip Goss. As a cause of his recent promotion from senior district executive to district director, Mark Mullenby had to work with me. This probably made him run the other direction, but well, there's a big book in his office, so he forced me down and lo and behold, the Chicken and Win show this year. I guess Alex doing George Strong and they did a job Monday. So, yeah, thank you very much for helping lead us. And now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Vince Crosby. I'm third year as vice president membership for the council. And in addition to that, I'm also active in scouting the military and the unit level, which I think makes me a better district and council leader. For those reasons, we're here to increase our ranks in pub scouting and make sure that the youngest kids can do it. All right. So hot on the heels of that, just want to get in a little bit into our mission statement. Most of you have seen this, but the mission of Scouting America is to prepare young people the most ethical and moral choices over their lifetime and instilling in them the values of the Scout oath and law. We all know the Scout oath and law, and it's funny. Almost everybody gets on the call when we were Scouts. There was a different Cub Scout oath and a different Cub Scout law. And I think about 12 years ago, program follows the exact same oaths and law. And so it's interesting to hear 5 and 6-year-olds so saying the Scout law. They don't know exactly what the word means, but they've heard in that situation. Next slide shows something that you may have heard about, but might not have as much experience with. These are the aims of scouting: character, citizenship, fitness, and leadership. So you'll notice that character, citizenship, and fitness sort of form the 3 points of the Scout oath. You look at our duty to guide the country, our duty to others, our duty to self. That sort of sums up about 9 years ago. They introduced leadership as an aim of scouting and brought it out from under the cover of the methods of scouting for all programs except Cub Scouting. So now that it's an aim of scouting, aims of scouting overarch all our programs, leadership is now aimed by Cub Scouting. And that's interesting. We go to the next slide, Chip. You'll see a little bit about what the methods of Cub Scouting are. And what the real change here is that the leadership being overarching across Cub Scouting, we're actually recognizing that 5 and 6-year-olds can be leaders in their own right. And for those of us that have worked with kids at that program, you see that on. So, in addition to those things, the methods of Cub Scouting in particular, living the ideals of belonging to the thing, we can create a new advancement structure, family involvement, activities, as well as district activities connected to Cub Scouting, the element of service in your neighborhood, and then lastly, the uniform. And with that, I'm going to pass the ball to Chip to go through the next couple of slides, and I'll see you back again. Okay.
All righty. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate you folks taking the time and to join us tonight and to dedicate yourselves to a very important role that I'd love to say that the field staff and the membership team created as a support system for developing our membership. Um, we've utilized this for the last well, this makes the third year. And this, I think, is going to be an amazing year. We've got a great group of people who have dedicated themselves um, to being Cub recruiting captains and to assisting Cub Scout packs in all four districts. And I just want to, you can see what a Cub Scout recruiting captain is. Um, It is a truly vital role with the Cub Scout packs. Your main responsibilities are basically going to be overseeing a recruitment event. You're not there to run it, you're there to assist, and we'll get more into that. You're going to be the friendly face that families meet when they first come in and learn about Cub Scouting to the sign up nights. Um, your enthusiasm and dedication, you're basically going to be the example um, that you're going to go in, work with the um, committee chair and the new member coordinator, um, and I'll get into how I envision this role shortly. But your example of enthusiasm and dedication to this program is going to lead and lead a lot of people to want to join and to sign right up. You're going to have we're going to arm you with tools and resources to complete and carry out this job. And if at any point in time you feel um, incapable or ill-equipped to do it, reach out to your district executive or to Vin, and let us know what you need to do your job better. Um, you're contributing directly to the growth and success of our packs, which directly relates to the growth of our Scouts BSA, which relates to the growth of the districts, which relates to the growth. It's just an amazing cycle how by getting Cub Scouts to join um, and helping the units deliver an amazing program, you're instrumental in ensuring that those who join stay. And that's another thing that we're really working on is the retention of the Scouts. What a Cub recruiting captain is not. You're not a member of the pack that you're covering. You you should not be covering your own pack. The issue with covering your own pack is everything is rosy. You have rose-colored glasses on. There is no problem with your pack. There's nothing that can be done to help your pack because you don't need to help your pack. Um, and you're at the night of the sign-up nights, you're more likely a cub recruiting captain is more likely to sit and chat with the people that you already know rather than the people that you don't know. And that's not what we're trying to do. So we're going to make sure that you do not cover your own pack. You are not a replacement for the Cub Master, committee chair, or membership chair. You're there to assist. You are not the sole responsible party for recruiting new families. You are there to assist. You're not expected to run the sign up night alone. You are there to assist. You're not there to criticize or judge unit leadership. We are not, hello, we are from council or we are from district and we're here to help. We are from the district, we are from the council, and we are there to help, but we're not their enemy. We're their friends. And that's where beginning a relationship in the month of June is extremely important. And we're not the one person solution to membership growth. We're a team. Your job is to empower the pack. We beginning with the IMP, um, the individualized membership plan. You are ensuring the pack plans 2 pack sign up nights. You make sure the pack is prepared, and you assist as necessary at the sign up night. Your job is to basically make sure that the committee chair or the new membership coordinator greets the parents and the families as they come in, directs the Cub Scouts or the potential scouts over to join the Cub Master and the Den Leader so that the kids can go do their fun stuff and the parents can take care of parent business. Your job is to enhance communication. This is a relational role. We need to develop a relationship with the packs that we cover. As I mentioned, we begin in June just making a friendly phone call to the committee chair, the Cub Master, the new member coordinator, whoever's listed on the IMP as the um, pack uh, membership person contact. That's who you're discussing this with and developing a relationship with. You're going to act as the liaison between the pack and the membership chair, which is Jamie Gaudet for LOTR, um, and the other membership chairs for the other districts, um, as well as your district executive. The district executives and the membership chairs will work with Vin to ensure that this is being carried out smoothly and effectively. And as I mentioned, if you feel ill-equipped or you need a tool or you need access to something, you need to reach out and let us know. The field service team and the membership team are here to help the committee, the Cub recruiting captains. You're there to make them feel supported. Every one of us on this call tonight has probably been involved in a Cub Scout sign up night at one point in our life, whether we were the Cub Scout or we were the Cub Scout parents or we were the den leader or the Cub master. And we know how confusing and how chaotic a sign up night can be. Um, and when you're the Cub master or you're the committee chair, you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions. And the Cub recruiting captain, by being there and letting them know that everything is all right and everything is organized and set up, um, that guidance and that support will go a long way. We're also there to follow up and follow through. Uh, Sometimes we can't convert the interested party that night. Your job is to get a list of people who are interested in signing up but haven't quite committed. Um, our our overall goal or our overall hope is that we can get them committed that night. We want to take their paid application. We want to give them this year's theme is a fishing pole. We want to give the new member a fishing pole so that they can use it right away. Um, but not every time we can manage that. So we're going to get a sign up sheet, and we're going to follow up and ensure that those who are interested leads can we can convert them into actual members. We're also beginning in June, we're going to start encouraging, this is part of the conversation that we'd like you guys to have with your assigned packs. We want to encourage the leaders of our packs that we're assigned attend the membership kickoffs in August. They're already listed on the Connecticut Rivers Council website on the calendar page. The sign up isn't live yet, but it soon will be, probably by the end of this week. And at the very least, or at the very last, we want to ensure that the district executive stays aware of the assistance and the signups and the potentials and how many applications have come through. And we want to celebrate every victory that we have, whether it's one new member or 100 new members. Every new member is a life touched, a life changed. So we want to make sure that we celebrate that. Um, if you guys want to come off mute, I believe this is the time that you had Q&A set up, or is that the next one, Vin?
Yeah, we can do a Q&A right after here.
Okay, so
And if anybody has any questions from for what we've done so far,
Yeah.
go ahead.
okay, Rick?
Yeah. If I'm not a member of the pack, what pack am I helping?
Your district executive, and this is just, I'm going to tell you soon, Richard. I'm meeting with, so your district executive is going to let you know which pack you're helping. Tomorrow night, that my key three is meeting, and we're going to try to pair up. In the language of Ray Kroc, we're going to put our aces in their places, and we're going to ensure that you are teamed up with a unit that matches your energy, your passion, and your drive. So, we don't want to have butts heading or heads butting. We want to make sure that you work well with others, you play well with others. Um, you're probably, Richard, yourself, you're not probably going to go too far from where you are. Um, but knowing you, I know that you're going to succeed wherever I ask you to go. You are an amazing face of Cub Scouting, just as many just as all of you are. I, I this is being recorded. So um, you all have the potential to affect serious change and create serious relationships with packs outside of our own. So, does that answer your question, Richard?
Yes, in part. But the other part is, aren't I helping my own pack too in exactly the same way?
Yes,
Kind of.
but somebody,
Yeah,
another Cub recruiting
yeah,
captain is going to be coming and helping you.
Okay.
Because as I
Yeah.
said at the beginning, everybody can use the help. And we want to make sure that there is an outside, I don't want to call it an outside influence, but an outside assistant to come in and
special guest star.
special guest star. Thank you, Vin. Um, Tonight on Deadliest Catch, your special guest star is Captain Vin. Um, so anyways, the two pack sign up nights. In my mind, your pack sign up night is communicated through a flyer uh, at the school, whether it's a physical paper flyer or it's a digital backpack or it's word of mouth. Um, it's communicated and it is nothing short of your usual September and October pack meetings. It can be a special event, but we're not asking the packs to recreate the wheel or reinvent the wheel. Um, the pack meetings are already an event that we know occurs on what night usually of the, whether it's the second Wednesday of the month or the third Friday of the month, we know pretty much when our unit pack meetings are, and it's an easy layup to say 80% of the packs don't change year to year. So, okay, pack 123 meets on the second Tuesday of the month. So we're going to do our sign up nights on the second Tuesday of September and the second Tuesday of October. We don't need to
Uh,
make it anything special. Go ahead, Vin.
Chip, Norm has a question. He's got his hand
Oh,
up.
oh, sorry, Norm. Go for it.
So you're expecting the Cub recruitment captain to follow up with uh, families that don't sign up? How are they going to get that information? You think this, I mean, can they get the information electronically? Like we look at whatever that application manager, but not all CRCs will have access to that, correct?
Yeah,
So,
we'll get to that probably in 7 or 8 slides, Norm.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Sorry.
it's coming up.
nope, it's all good. So sure. Absolutely. We'll get to that. Um, so uh, the sign up nights typically outside as the weather permits. They don't necessarily need to be outside. As I said, if it's at your normal pack meeting, if I know when the packs that I've been involved with, I love if we can meet outside, we're meeting outside, but we always have the church or the fire department or the school to fall back to. Um, having knowing what the PAC's plan A and plan B is through the individualized membership plan, we'll know where it's going to be. If it is a only outside event, then we want to ensure that that the IMP contains a rain date, so the two sign up nights have a backup. Um, this is organized to, as it says, close the deal. We want to ensure that as many interesting parties join. This is not an information night. These are not advertised as information nights. This is advertised as come sign up. We're calling them sign up nights because they've gotten the information, they've gotten invited, they've gotten the flyer, and it tells them everything that they should know, and they're interested in signing up. They may have a couple of questions, what we do, what they can do, what happens in Cub Scouting. That they're there to sign up. They're going to cut a check. They're going to sign up online, and then they're going to get the fishing pole right then and there. This is not positioned as a come check Cub Scouts out night. This is um, this is a sign up night. Um, we're going to know when and where these sign up nights are. I mentioned the flyers, social media presence. I know that I have been working diligently to increase the footprint of uh, leaders of the Revolution District on Facebook. And I've seen some significant movement from the other districts, and it looks great. Um, PACs should be encouraged to have Facebook or another social media presence, ensuring that they cover the community um, that they serve, so that the community that they serve knows that Cub Scouting and Scouting is still active and viable.
And part of that, well, obviously we'll mention this in August at the rollouts, but part of that is making sure that your pin on beascout.org has a link or links to website, Facebook, any other social media mediums presence, so that you can get the maximum out of what it is. Literally, from putting your zip code in, it might only be 20 or 30 seconds before you're looking at your kids, your leaders, your activities. And, it's right then and there that the decision to come visit you was made. So that's really, really important. And we're going to bang that home in August when we meet everybody. And everybody can hear me now, right?
Absolutely. You sound so
Okay.
much better now.
Yeah, well, I thought I was on my main mic, but I was on some backup mic, and Ricky said, we can barely hear you. And I told her that I have to go through the CRC spanking machine because my first job out of engineering school was in audio. So some things are inexcusable. As Chip had mentioned, Hooked on Scouting is our theme this year. We've gone from rocket into scouting to racing into scouting, and now we're hooked on scouting. These seem like, shots in the dark. Is this going to work this year? Really, there's some strategy behind this. The strategy is that whereas, probably half the packs had challenges as to where they could launch the rockets, we handed everybody a Pinewood Derby kit right on time, but the derbies weren't until the following year, January, February, or sometimes even into March. So that didn't have the impact that we wanted it to have straight away. Here, we're going to put a fishing pole in the hand, exchange it for a completed digital or paper application, and within a couple of weeks, we're going to have a fishing derby starting at Mattituck, then another one at J.N. Webster. We may, if we find, have a third one later into perhaps early November up at Warcomen. And we'll see how that goes, see if we need it. But the packs also can do their individual fishing events. So the object is that we can use this incentive right away. As you can see on the form, I won't go through the dates, starting with tonight, and then late August, and then obviously the fishing derbies. Our next slide shows sort of our goal, and I'll talk about sort of what this means at the end. But you can see sort of the relative impact of the size of our districts, Charter Oak being our largest district and also having the most opportunity for growth, followed by the Western leaders and then Southeast. So we're looking for 1,300 new Cub Scout registrations throughout the year. We're counting that by applications in hand. So it's a stretch goal, but I think that everybody in the council thinks that we're in a position to beat it, and so we just got to make it happen, and that's what we're starting tonight. Our next slide shows something that is going to be a little bit interesting. Over the course of the past 6 weeks, our district professional staff has gone through and done sort of an assessment. I don't know, I would call it a detailed assessment, but certainly in between an overview and a detailed assessment of every pack and their potential, their ability to recruit, what they've done in the past. And in addition to that, looked at not only membership, but program and leadership. And so in doing so, we've sort of had a rating system of green, yellow, or red just to sort of delineate a pack and what resources we might think that they need. So despite the fact that we have colors on these, you can see right underneath our friendly fish here, and one of them doesn't know which direction to swim because he's got several more eyes than he needs. That's not to be a sort of a punch on what our packs need for help, but you can see sort of it's a continuum. And I don't know, I would put some of the best packs in our council, certainly a pack like 425 in Bristol, a pack like 52 in Oakville, some of the larger packs out east of the river. They have absolutely terrific methodologies. Pack 389 in South Windsor comes to mind. If I could have recorded the sign up night that they held last year and just said, here it is, we'd be showing that video tonight, and that would have been it. Literally, I had very little to do other than just stand there, look pretty, which, as you know, is very difficult for me. But then, probably fielded some questions about the council and the district and what the larger picture of scouting is. But other than that, they were terrific. So that might be an example of a pack on the extreme green side. We could learn a thing or two from them, and your role will be in that process to actually bring some of that data back to be able to say, hey, we didn't think of this. We should really, sort of make a gut check and put that out to the other 25 packs in the district. So we're going to see some stuff like that, and that's a good thing. In the middle, most of our packs will have this sort of yellowish color. They're going to need a little bit of help. Certainly, they're going to need help in recruiting leaders, which we find is one of the most important things that we can do as sort of outside influence is to talk scouting. Most of us have been through them with our kids, and some of us have been through the program ourselves. So we stand to have sort of the best opportunity to be able to sell the program not only to the kids but to the leaders. If our packs have been categorized as sort of having a reddish tint, they're going to need a little bit more help than we can bring to the table. So as part and parcel of this effort, This is where we're going to have direct commissioner input. It might be that a commissioner goes with you to the sign up night. It might be that the commissioner maybe goes to a PAC committee meeting, and we, the Cub recruiting captains, go to the PAC meeting. That'll be on an individual basis, up to Norm and his team of district commissioners and unit commissioners to determine how to best handle that on an individual basis. And so for that, I just want to, this is sort of a new departure from what we've done in the past, is to be able to try to, it's not a one-stop cookie cutter approach as it's been in the past 2 years. What we want to try to do is really address our customers here as to what their needs are and how we can serve them best. So I just want to take a moment to pause here and see if there are any questions, because this is new and different. Any questions or comments on this particular part of it?
Well, part of it was the commissioners went to help gather some of this information. So we should know the units that are struggling, but this is a great opportunity to go in and say, what can I do to help you? So this is a great opportunity for the commissioners to help those units that are struggling and help them recruit. So this is a great job. That's it.
Thank you, Norm. And
Do they-
certainly it was Norm and our district commissioners, as well as our district professionals that sort of gathered this data and came up with this conceptualization. So hats off to all.
Do they, sorry to interrupt, do they know, I like this slide as far as the projections and stuff. It's good. And I do a lot of social media marketing myself, so I know the ins and outs of a lot of the things to get these numbers up on the back end of things. But I'm just curious, does the council have an idea of like how many people who need help, who are, like you said, you already know some people like in Bristol are really good and different towns are good. Do you have a good insight of that, or is it still like we're trying to figure out whose numbers are low, who needs to be higher, who's what's what?
Great question, Aaron. Certainly the packs that got it together are, it's just like anything else. The Yankees are poised to take the AL East, and my poor Red Sox, because they only had a couple of kids sort of join, and some of them are hurt and everything else. So and of course they had a change in leadership, so it's tough to come up to speed. Very analogous to what we see going on with our packs. So in this instance. Certainly, we've identified, who our model packs are, our green bass, or what is that, a catfish? I guess a green catfish. But this red scupper here, this guy is having trouble seeing where he's going. And so when we approach this pack, it's not just okay, well, it's a smaller pack. Maybe it only has a minimum of kids. Maybe it's less than a minimum of kids. Maybe we're only talking about 3 or 4 kids. And certainly that's going to be an effort to to not only recruit, but recruit leadership, build things out, and I'm hopeful that these fishing activities, as well as our district ability to be able to have fall cub events, will help these packs actually, in their program, so that they have something that they can brag about right out of the gate, as opposed to, meeting together maybe at a pack meeting that has some coffee and donuts for the adults and some hard candy for the kids, and it looks like it has potential, but it isn't there yet. And obviously parents are going to feel that. They're going to not vote with their dollars and maybe question what the value of it is. So we've got to be able to do more than just offer recruiting and membership incentives to those particular units.
Aaron, I can tell you
That's the
in
breakdown.
Charter Oak, we have a reading on every single pack. So I'm not sure what the other districts have, but we have a reading on every pack. So we know where people stand.
No.
I don't know about the other districts.
Okay, I was just curious because that's like I'm a new leader, if you will, soon to become leader, if you will. I don't know. I mean, I'm paid my dues and stuff, and I'm just trying to get my ropes around things and get a bird's eye or eagle eyes view of how this whole stuff is set up. And it's I have, I can bring a lot of insight to how things are run from a bird's eye perspective, and how things are like flopping and things are really good or not good, and bring a lot of insight where I think there's a lot of, and I don't want to like, toot my own horn or anything like that, but I feel like I could help like revitalize it. Like I want to make scouts like really popular again. I guess it was in a slump for a while, and then because I was out, doing my adulthood stuff, getting married and all that sort of stuff, and then being a dad and having kids now, I'm on the other side of the fence, having my kids go through it. It's like, wow, it's completely changed. It's different. It's not what
Yeah.
I grew up being scouting and doing different things. It's more now we got social media, now we got internet, now we have like different methods and trainings and these webinars and stuff. It's like, whoa. So I'd like to take advantage of that, and then even with the new recruitment of AI to help capitalize on these things because we can't, I'm not saying we, but I'm going to kind of say we can't sit on the sidelines and do the things that we've done in the past to expect new modern day parents to come sign up day one. That's not going to happen. You can't like it isn't going to work. Like the numbers are going to keep going down if you think they're just going to show up. Because even myself, I had no idea. Like there was even scouts at my kid's school, and I'm kind of like, whoa, there's no advertisement there. What happened? What's going on here? Like, I didn't know what was going on. And just because I'm interested in it, I need to convince people who have never been in scouts. They don't know anything about scouts. Like, they know nothing. So I know the beneficial side of things. I'm proactive about it. I'm, energetic and kind of know where the tricks are to kind of get things in. And I feel like it help people who don't know where to do things or need a light or guided mentorship and that sort of stuff to
Aaron,
just
what town do you live in?
sorry, in Berlin.
Oh,
Aaron,
so you're part of Cherokee. Okay, we'll talk to you some more.
Yep.
Yeah,
Aaron,
I'm
sent
just
you
I'm just
a
curious. I think it's great, but I just think we got to modernize a lot of things for some stuff to get more parents' involvement.
Yep.
Aaron, I sent you a message. If you take my information, please, that would be awesome. I am the district executive for your district.
Okay.
In part,
Okay.
national is out there. Like I'm never on TikTok, but they're putting stuff on TikTok to millennial parents, driving people to beascout.org. That's why what Vince said, you have to have that unit pin has to be accurate.
Yep.
So
And
I
the QR
think
code
what
to that pin, to that particular pin has got to be on every piece of ad copy that is out in that town.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
the
let's
secret.
keep going.
Yep.
So not to beat a dead horse, but Aaron, that's why National isn't doing the Cub Recruiting Captain program that we're doing. Um, National seems to be catching up slowly to what we're doing, but we are definitely innovating and leading the way. Um, Research shows that more and more first-time families are joining Scouts, um, and we need what, as you were saying, we need to make sure that our message is getting out there. Too often, and it's probably in. I didn't familiarize myself with the slides for tonight, but too often we preach to our own. The pastor preaches to the choir. Um, we toot our own horns. We don't blast the horn to the public and let them know the good that we do. Our message is usually shared inwards and not outwards. Um, and we need to find ways to make that happen. And one of the ways, Aaron, is exactly as you were saying, is take you who was involved in Scouts. I was involved in Scouts. The biggest gain that we can do to ensure that people join Scouts is to invite people. Don't hide your uh, don't hide your candle under a basket or your flame under a basket. Ensure that these 1,000 points of light are see the day, and we share the message with everybody. I know the field team has worked diligently and it continues to work diligently to ensure access to schools, whether one way mechanism or another, to ensure that flyers can go out or signs can be put out in front of the schools. Too often times, though, membership season overlaps with recruitment or election season, so our yard signs look just like um, vote a voting sign or a political sign, so they get lost in the noise. So we need to ensure that our message is being shared um, often and appropriately.
Chip, sounds like a good lead in into the individual membership plan, or the IMP, as you may have
Oh
heard.
my Lord. I had no idea that that was coming up. The IMP, I've mentioned this a couple of times. Each district has a different layout, more or less, looking for different levels um, of information. The IMP this year has been paired up with the unit health assessment to lead to the green, yellow, and red ratings that you have. That was our membership initiative. And much of the information from the UHA, unit health assessment, directly correlates to the IMP, the individualized membership plan. Um, your unit, your field professional, working with unit commissioners and district commissioners, um, are working diligently. I love that word tonight, diligent, to make sure that the IMPs are being carried out. This is a direct conversation. I cannot urge or state that enough. This is a direct conversation with the unit. This is not an email contact. This is a phone call. This is a in-person visit where the field professional or the commissioner goes to the unit and talks about everything. This is a relationship builder. When is your sign up night? As I said at the beginning of the meeting, what's your pack meeting in October? What's your pack meeting in September? How many kids are you actively thinking that you're going to get? And that to me is the litmus test. If they come in and they say three, I know that I need to light a fire underneath their keisters, because we should at least be aiming to a full den of 6 to 8 scouts. That's a minimum for actual growth. If we are to hit our 1,300 number, we have about 130 packs in the council. Each pack should recruit a minimum of 10 scouts. Now, we have the green packs who are, the Uber packs who um, recruit 50 kids a year. And then we have the not so Uber packs that recruit one kid. And they're happy with that one kid. Um, so the IMP directly impacts that by understanding all the information. The first question, as you see, is your unit pin updated? A lot of times when they tell me no, I when I'm sitting there, I pull up the my dot scouting with them sitting right there and say, let's update your pin right now. And a lot of the time, the issue is, and this is excellent knowledge for everyone to have, whether you're the first time den leader or you're the council commissioner. If your unit has lapsed and you've been renewed, your unit pin got shut off when the grace period stopped. Your unit pin no longer shows up on beascout.org. You are not getting any business. It is your Papa John's just went out of business and you're not selling pizza. You need to renew um your franchise agreement and get back on the internet. That is part of the process. That is the first step to getting your unit pin renewed, is to ensure that the information is correct. Some of the field staff last year went through every unit pin. Some unit, we can tell when the unit pins have been updated. Some had been 4 or 5 years between the updates. And we can tell because um, a Cub Master from the Cub Master before the current Cub Master is listed as the contact. And all too often, the person reaches out to that Cub Master and they get, I'm not the Cub Master anymore. I don't know who is. And that turns our potential member off. And we've lost a scout that we can influence and provide our mission for. So through here, we know what schools they're recruiting from. We know this has been updated. We know that their national and council fee of $160. Some packs require more, some packs don't. So we want to know how much your pack charges or collects, I should say, at their sign up night so that we can put that right on the flyer. Football teams, soccer leagues, t-ball, they all advertise how much their 8-week program is, and people know how much they're going to be writing a check for, or swiping the credit card, or paying for their 12-month membership. And we want to ensure that that message gets shared. So that's pretty much the IMP. I saw a chat come through. Gotta get the finish line. Yes. All right. Okay. Dang it. There we go. I'm trying to read chat and I'm trying to talk. All right. The sign up night. Cub Scout recruitment captain should arrive with, and you will be equipped with, after the membership kickoffs, you will be equipped with youth and adult applications. We do encourage signing up online. However, not everybody feels comfortable with paying online or filling out the application online, or with a Husky application, it needs to be a paper application. A receipt book, which you will be equipped with. We have them, blank sign-in rosters, handout materials. We have all of this. We will share it with you. The booth kit, not necessarily is a thing anymore. This is pretty much the booth kit that you will receive. Every pack last year received a tablecloth and other materials, which takes place to the booth kit. This year and each subsequent year, we will be refreshing the booth kit. And the incentives. We will provide a number of fishing poles and bracelets and stickers. And this year, we will be keeping an inventory of fishing poles that go out, fishing poles that come back, to ensure that each scout gets a fishing pole and that there are enough to go around. All right, roles to ensure that are covered. The you have a greeter. This is pretty much the committee chair, or even the working together with a cub recruiting captain. You've got the cub master or the den leaders working with the cubs and the program. You've got the committee chair who's acting as the adult liaison, talking with the parents. The treasurer, it should be the only one taking money and issuing receipts, and assistants filling out. These are parents who are familiar with the application. They know how to fill out the application, exactly what needs to be done on the application, making sure that birthdays are on the application, emails are accurate, and the parent signs the application. At the end of the night, before the applications get turned over to the Cub recruiting captain, the unit leader signs the application and dates the application and ensures that the payment is arranged, whether a single check or is issued to Connecticut Rivers Council, or the checks have been written to Connecticut Rivers Council and the receipts go with that. And those go back to Connecticut River Council, or if the treasurer has taken the money and they call the next morning to cover the 13 applications, and they call up the district executive, or they call Kay at the front desk and they make the payment over the phone, that's fine. All right, sign up materials. These are some of the things, the handout materials, just some samples. Starting in the bottom right-hand corner, we have this beautiful booklet, which is um, printed out, stapled. We can um, print up customized, pre-filled, like you fill out the information, we'll print it up, or we can leave it blank, stapled, print up 50 copies for every pack. Um, the flyer on above that, the Cub Scout Adventures, share the required adventures and the electives for each rank. And that is an amazing piece of literature that goes out. Um, in I'm going to go over to the left hand side. The flyers that go out, these are great to have extras on hand. The flyers that go out to the school. Um, as I mentioned earlier, word of mouth invitations is huge. If parents take an invitation and share it with their friends and families in the area and invite them to the next sign up night or the next meeting, um, and then the overall message, the last one that I saved, is we need to ensure that we communicate with our potential scouts and our current scouts that scouting is safer now more than ever before. Scouting has taken youth safety and adult safety more extremely seriously. We have recreated, and I'm sure that most of you have done the new safeguarding youth training, which has replaced the youth protection training. If you haven't done it, yours expires May 31st. It's an amazing program. It's really meaningful. It's updated, and it actually has a lot of good information. We want to ensure that our parents know that we take safety first. And this flyer will be there to help back up that information. And I see chats coming. I will get to that in a minute. I believe this is my last slide, and then Vin goes. Um, when you, Vin, you made it French. After the sign up night, return with the completed applications, payment, which I math mentioned, um, the sign in roster. This is where we can convert those who were just interested um, with those who joined so that we can take and delineate the two and ensure, and it may not be the Cub recruiting captain that does the follow-up, but it's communicated with the district executive that I have these three families that did not sign up. Can you call them back? Yes. So it doesn't fall on the Cub recruiting captain to make that communication. It could be the Cub recruiting captain that says, "Hey, I'm going to take this list. I took a copy of it. I'm going to call these parents because I had an amazing conversation with them. And Billy Bob was an Eagle Scout from Georgia in 1997, and he really wants to get involved. So I'm going to take it and follow up with these people." That's where the follow up comes through, and that's where the communication comes through. It doesn't need to be the Cub recruiting captain making um, that commitment to following through on the sign up roster, but the communication should occur between the district executive or the district commissioner. The booth kit actually now stays with the pack. As I mentioned, we gave everybody a tablecloth. If they didn't get a tablecloth, um, let us know. We have a few left, um, and we want to ensure that each pack looks professional and well represented, and ready to go. And this is where remaining incentives, any fishing poles that you didn't hand out, would be returned. It would be awesome if you run out of fishing poles, um, and you need to get more. Arrange pickup of materials with the district executive. And I believe that's my last slide for until
Yep.
and I'm
Okay.
going to check the chat.
So, Aaron's comment was right on that we've got to get the kids to want to know what the program is and get them into one back there, Chip.
Oh, my bad.
So, but
Right here.
what we're trying to do with these sign up nights is emulate what the sports community does. If you go to, to look at a fall ball for baseball, or you bring your kid to the soccer field, and the expectation is you're going to sign up there. So, but what we are looking to the Cub recruiting captain to do that sometimes our our customer packs won't do is they say, yeah, come check us out, as opposed to sort of closing the deal at that time. And so it requires a little bit of an extra effort to try to, get somebody to um, give their green. We're talking about the green fish here, but they've got to actually sign up their kid and in an event, trust us, sort of almost sight unseen. If a kid has parents that have a background in scouting beforehand, that makes that a lot easier. But I would venture to say that most people really don't know what Cub Scouting is and what it can offer. And this is where we come in. Those of us that have gray hair, or in my case, retreating hair, um, we have a myriad of stories. And I put a couple of them just on the slide here as an example. Enabling a special needs kid to shine. What comes to actually, it was Jay Lentz. I think you were in camp when one of the Troop 5 kids got on the Mattatuck climbing wall. Really was on the spectrum, special needs kid. No one knew that he was Spider-Man. And just by being at camp, he found something that he was better than any other kid around. And this just opened the kid up. Um, Being loyal and brave, stopping a bullying. This is how a 5 and 6 year old becomes a leader at 5 and 6. We always say we're working with the leaders of tomorrow, but really that's wrong. Cub Scouts, even as young as 5 and 6 years old, by just the initial exposure to the Scout law, they sort of know right from wrong right away, and they find their voice much sooner than other kids do. To that end, having a den chief in every den in the council is a personal goal of mine. And having a 12 or 13-year-old kid to emulate when you're 7 or 8 years old, even when you're 9 or 10 years old, we blow in an AOL is, I think, the secret sauce. And then just something to bring it home, our membership chair in Charter Oak, her son received the Medal of Merit this past year for saving a life, due wholly because of his scouting skills. So, you tell a couple of these stories as the special guest rock star coming into this pack, and you're going to clinch the deal. So that's why we're here to do this. That is, if I have to describe our role, that's it. And again, just one last time, every time you go out to a pack, I'll do a dozen or more um, over the course of the fall. Every time I go, it's different. Sometimes I stand back. Sometimes I have to do a lot more than I really should because they're not prepared. But we need to be ready to go in and have that background for them to make it effective. But really, the most important thing that we can do is bring this level of confidence to the parents that are about to sign up the kids. And with that, I'm going to just turn it back to Chip by saying thank you very much. Again, this is I think, a give to our units. We're going to learn a lot more about our units and the year that they're going to have as we see them in September and October. And I think it's great to perhaps maybe have unit leaders and go, it's really great that somebody came out to council. I think I'm going to go to a roundtable, and that's going to start to cement them onto our leadership team. So thank you very much for being the olive branch from Connecticut Rivers Council that's going to do that. All right.
Excellent.
And with that, we'll open it up for any final comments or questions.
We'll have access to these slides.
Absolutely. I'll be emailing these slides to everybody on the list, as well as this video will be made available as soon as I transfer. It'll probably be tomorrow sometime, but I will share the link to this video for your further reference, and other materials will be available on the ctscouting.org website at the membership um, tab.
I
The only
also
thing,
go ahead.
the only thing I would suggest is the sign-up sheet. I think we've had good luck in Charter Oak is if you make a Google Doc and get a QR code and the parents come in and use their phone to get to that Google Doc and they type in their readable email. And I just think that's a little clearer than just a pen and paper sign-in sheet. But that's just my opinion.
You know what? That's a great so going back to Aaron's point about utilizing AI, I was beginning the creation for a sign-in sheet for roundtables, and I think I will implement that for this. I do believe that it's also important to have a paper backup just in case
Sure.
somebody,
Hmm.
you know, a mechanism to record somebody who doesn't have, God forbid somebody
Go
doesn't.
say it. Somebody who doesn't have a phone, Chip?
Yes. Well, so I know that there's one gentleman on this phone call right now who only uses a landline.
Okay. I agree. So have a backup.
Have a
Absolutely.
backup. But I agree that because everything that is emailed now, and everything is tied to your parental email, your membership, your renewal, everything. So let's circumvent the issues that we have by I cannot read this email.
Right.
Now, it gets bounced back to me and I can't communicate with this individual. I've just lost a scout. So I agree that is I we will implement that 100%.
Okay.
Boy Scouts motto, always be prepared, right? Have a backup to your backup.
Yes, sir.
Just throwing this out there before I get eaten alive out here. It's not too bad. The other thing too that was a big seller for me is that the Cub Scouts is a year-long membership. That was a big sell for me. It's not like a 6 weeks, 8 weeks, baseball, soccer, like basketball kind of thing, or swimming or something like that. For me, it's all a year-long thing. I'm like, wow, for this price, why wouldn't I do it? And then I could still be a part of basketball. I could still be a part of soccer or swimming or whatever, but still go to my meetings on top of that. And it's, as a parent, it's good to have your kids involved in things. I'm not saying they got to be in everything, but sprinkling it in throughout the year is fantastic. Um, and the incentive there is that, it's like a subscription type of a thing, like that is a full year-long membership. Even if you miss one or two, slots, you can still always come in. You can always come back.
100%. And that's I emphasize every time I speak to a potential parent, it's a year-long program. What we need to do is ensure that every pack is running a year-long program, and we're offering tools and utensils this year to ensure that the packs have the information and the ability to run a year-long program. And I'm not talking a
And
weekly meeting in the months of June, July, and August, but if you don't have a way to keep your family together, and the in the summer months, it's a harder time getting them to come back to the table to eat in September. So we need to ensure that PACs are doing that. And I do believe that the Cub Recruiting Captain is a small step to ensure that our PACs are getting the message that, hey, what are you doing in July? Are you going to day camp? Are you going to overnight camp? Are you going to Patchogue as a pack? Are you going to Battleship Cove? Are you going to go to ice cream? What are you guys doing to keep the family together? Um,
and I think too, Aaron, your comments about sports, which we often view as competitors to the scouting program. Um, I'm here to tell you that they're really not. In addition to the work that I do at Connecticut Rivers Council, I'm also on the state board and a state commissioner for Babe Ruth baseball. And I can tell you, I brought Newtown High School's team down to Fordham for a showcase event. And there was, I don't know, probably a dozen or so college recruiters there. And one guy came up to me and he said, "Hey," he goes, "I heard through the grapevine that there's 3 Eagle Scouts on Newtown High School's team." I said, "Yeah, 2 of them are here." He says, "Could you point them out to me, please?" And I said, "Yeah, one's in center field, the other one's on deck to go into the batting cage. Thanks." And he walked away. And in 50 years of scouting, it only then occurred to me that this guy answered all of the recruiting questions that he wasn't going to get an answer for from any other kids. That he's going to be a good student, that he's going to be a good teammate, or that he's coachable, that he's not going to get himself in trouble. And there were big question marks for the other 400 kids that were on the team. And of course, everybody's looking for the lefty that's thrown in the 90s. But when you don't find that, you come away with, at least a couple of kids that said, "I got to find a place to put these." So please, it's sort of a great way to balance your athletics by actually having kids that are going to be great leaders. So it's not competitive in my view at all.
Any further questions?
So more of a statement. Hey Chip, I'm your latest recruitment of becoming a unit commissioner, and I'm also in Wood Badge. I know there's several Wood Badge attendees on this call. And one of my goals and ticket items is to help with the special needs section of recruitment and kids and whatever else. So I'll put in my email in the chat, but if anyone's interested in helping me, giving me advice, or helping run special recruitment nights that might be a little lower key, might be more simpler for neurodivergent type kids that don't do well in large groups or whatever else. And I have a separate ticket item too for how to deal with them continuously, right? It's not good to just recruit kids if you don't keep them. We know that scouting is all about all kids are welcome, regardless of where they come from and what their personal challenges are. Lord knows I have several of my own, and I made it to an Eagle Scout. So anyone that wants to help me in this endeavor, I'm taking people to reach out. I'm here to help as well. If you guys have existing problems in your groups, let me know. Happy to try to lend some support and make scouting a better place.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate you getting the constructive direction on your Wood Badge tickets. I also sent you a message. Any further questions? All right. I want once again, thank you for joining. This information will be emailed out to you all, and the video will be made available sometime tomorrow. I will email everybody when that occurs. Have a great night, and let's go recruit 1,300 kids.
What a time. Thank you, everybody.
Well done.